Good morning, class. Today we're working on Math Unit 2, Lesson 7, Remembering. Today we're going to be working on a review of adding and subtracting fractions, as well as adding and subtracting decimals. And before you get started, you can go ahead and take a second and put an X through stretch your thinking. And we're going to go ahead and start talking with numbers 1 and 2. In numbers 1 and 2, you're figuring out the operation. Is it addition or is it subtraction? And we're using fractions. We'll go ahead and complete number 2 together. Shannon walked 4 7/8 miles and ran 3 1/2 miles during the week. How much farther did she walk than run? We've got to look at those key terms there. How much farther or further did she walk than run? And that further piece is an indicator to us that we're going to have to do a subtraction here. And so we have 4 7/8, and from that 4 7/8, we're subtracting 3 1/2 so that we can figure out how much further it was. In order to subtract fractions, remember, we have to have a common denominator. Right now we have a denominator of 2 and a denominator of 8, and we know that 2 can go into 8 evenly. 2 times 4 is 8, so we're going to multiply top and bottom by 4 so that we can get a denominator of 8. Let's go ahead and move our number over, our whole number, and so it's going to stay a 3, and 4 times 1 is equal to 4, and 2 times 4 is equal to 8. So now we have 3 4/8. So it's 4 7/8 minus 3 4/8. So we're going to go ahead and complete our subtraction problem. Now we have to subtract the numerators. So 7 minus 4 is equal to 3, and our denominator remains the same, which is 8. Now we need to look at our whole numbers. 4 minus 3 is equal to 1, and so your answer is 1 3/8 miles, M-I-L-E-S, further, F-U-R-T-H-E-R. Now, I'd like you to really pay attention today because I notice oftentimes you guys are forgetting labels because you're doing a great job with the actual mathematical piece, but you're forgetting to add in your labels. And you'll notice today in numbers 1 all the way through number 8, you have labels on everything. And so you need to make sure that you're completing your problems with labels, whether it be meters or cents or dollars or miles or cups. Make sure you're paying attention to the labels today. All right, let's go ahead and look at numbers 3 through 5. In numbers 3 through 5, these are written in money, in the form of currency. And so you can see that it's dollars and cents. And biggest thing to remember here is lining up those decimals, remembering where the decimal point goes. So if we looked at, let's just go ahead and do number 3. Number 3, we have $54.25. And we have a dollar sign here. Now, when you look at that, you're adding to that. What it says is 55 cents. Well, in order to write 55 cents, we know that 55 cents is 0.55. And so you have to get that decimal point in there. And then you can write the cent sign over here, but it's not necessary. And then remember, anytime you are adding or subtracting decimals, the first thing you need to do is bring that decimal down. And then you don't have to worry about it again. 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. Put down your 0, carry your 1. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 1 more is 8. And 54 plus nothing is 54. Now you can see that it's $54.80, and all you need to include here is the dollar sign. That cent sign over here is not necessary unless you only have cents. If it's dollars and cents, then you have the dollar sign. If it's cents only, you can have the cent sign. So number 3 is $54.80. Look at number 4 and 5. Again, you're going to need to make sure you're paying attention to where the decimal goes. If you have 68 cents, that's written as 0.68. If you have 21 cents, that's written as 0.21. Same thing when you get to number 5. You have 92 cents, that's written as 0.92. Now, if you run across a problem where you have 5 cents, it's 0.05, okay, because you have 5/100ths of a dollar. Let's go ahead now and look at 6, 7, and 8. 6, 7, and 8, you are adding meters together. And you're going to make sure in each of these that you're lining up your decimals and you are remembering to add in your labels. So we'll go ahead and start let's go ahead and let's complete number 7. So number 7 reads 0 and 44 hundredths meters plus 0 and 15 hundredths meters. And the first thing we do when we have a decimal in an addition and subtraction problem is bring that decimal down. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and bring our label down too, meters. 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5, and 0 plus 0 is 0. So we have 0.59 or 59 hundredths meters, and that's going to be your answer for number 7. You're going to do the same thing with 6 and 8 and make sure that you have your label and that you bring that decimal down. When we get down to numbers 9 through 14, numbers 9, 10, and 11 are simple addition problems that don't include any decimals, and I know you've been practicing those ones since you were in 2nd or 3rd grade, so I'm going to let you complete 9, 10, and 11 on your own. But when we hit 12, 13, and 14, you can see within those problems that there are decimals. And I think I'll show you number 12 just so that you can see what it looks like when there's no decimal in that top number. And I know I'll have questions on this one, kind of like we did on 2-5, remembering. So let's go ahead and look at number 12. We have 46,872, and from that we're going to subtract 8 and 28 hundredths, so 8.28. Well, when you have a whole number, as we do up top, 46,872, the decimal point always follows that whole number. And so your decimal point needs to line up with your other decimal point, and you can see here that they do. And when you're completing an addition and subtraction problem, bring that decimal down once you've lined it up. Well, how am I going to complete this problem if there are no numbers above the 28 hundredths? Well, remember, we add in zeros to fill in those as placeholders. And then we can go ahead and complete our math. 0 minus 8, okay, we can't complete that, so we have to borrow, and that becomes an 8. This 10, this 0 becomes a 10, and this 2 is going to have to become a 1. Now, we have to borrow from this 0, so it becomes a 9. 10 minus 8 is equal to 2. 9 minus 2 is equal to 7. 1 minus 8 we can't complete, so we have to borrow again. Our 7 becomes a 6, and our 1 becomes an 11. 11 minus 8 is equal to 3. 6 minus nothing is equal to 6. 8 minus nothing is equal to 8. 6 minus nothing is equal to 6. And 4 minus nothing is equal to 4. So our answer there is going to be 46,863 and 72 hundredths. All right, if you want to go ahead and get to work on today's math, complete the problems that we did not complete together. Let me know if you have any questions. Make sure when you've completed your work, you check it, then take a picture of it, attach it to the assignment, upload it in Teams, and turn it in. Thank you.